你们好吗？我是 Jeffrey Zeig， 我是老师，我是中文吗？还没有 but it's something that I'm learning. These are difficult times, and in these difficult times, 我们是中国人. We're all Chinese, and we're all with you in dealing with these difficult circumstances. As a psychologist who trains therapists around the world, I have been asked by 3 esteemed colleagues in China, could I make a recording that could be of some use to the residents of China in these difficult times? And I'm glad to do so. There are 5 components. Component number 1 is about information. We need information. And the information that I would like you to understand is that the responses that are happening from people in China are normal responses to a very abnormal situation. Now, they're composed of 2 parts. One part is fear, and one part is anxiety. If we can separate out these parts, we have a better opportunity for being able to cope with the difficulties. Fear is that there's an immediate threat. The threat could be there's a tiger at the door. In this case, the threat is there's a virus and it's dangerous. Anxiety is something different. Anxiety is a what if. What if we get sick? What if there are terrible consequences to myself and my family economically? Anxiety is based in the future. You're beaming into an unpredictable future and bringing that unpredictable future into the present. Because fear and anxiety are experienced the same in our body, it's important in these circumstances to be able to be realistic about the fear, but to do something about removing the anxiety. Both of them are located in the body. This gets us to step 2 in what I'm going to present to you, which unusually is to go into your body and increase the level of tension. Don't try to relax. Relaxation is something that can be accomplished, but it takes 20 minutes under ideal circumstances. So the first step that I'd like you to do is to locate anxiety wherever it is in your body, and I'd like you to increase the anxiety. I know that sounds a little unusual, but believe me, from years, decades of experience, this is the best way to proceed. Once you locate the anxiety wherever it might be in your body, then what I want you to do is to tense up. A way of tensing up is to imagine that you have a coin in between your knees and you're going to push your legs together as hard as you possibly can. Then I'd like you to fold your arms, hold your arms tight, and even grimace with your face. And hold the tension, increase the tension. Count to 3 in your mind. Hold the tension, 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath and discharge the anxiety. I'd like you to do that 3 or 4 or 5 times. Tense, release. This gets us into step 3 of the program that I have for you. And step 3 is a step of awareness. Once you have done the tense release steps, I want you to fill in a sentence stem. Now I am aware of. And then now I am aware of 3 things that are visual. Now I'm aware of a camera. Now I'm aware there's a cameraman. Now I'm aware that there's a wall behind the camera and the cameraman. And then 3 things that are auditory, sounds. Now I'm aware of the sound of my voice. Now I'm aware of the sound of my breathing. Now I'm aware of the sound of my breathing, whatever you're aware of. Then 3 tactile sensations, not feelings, sensations. Now I'm aware of my feet on the floor. Now I'm aware of my elbows resting on the chair. Now I'm aware of the feeling of my jacket on my neck. And then I'd like you to do that 3, 2, 1. Now I'm aware of, visually, auditorily, tactily. And the idea there is to go into neutral. Neutral is an important step to anchor yourself in awareness. The third step of the process, the fourth step of the process, is safety. And to immerse ourselves in safety, at least mentally. Now, we all have a place that represents safety. And for me, that could be a village in the mountains where I have been many times, and it's a beautiful place, a very peaceful place in the country. And what I'd like you to do is to mentally imagine yourself, take a moment, close your eyes, imagine yourself in a safe place. And that safe place could be a place from your earlier life. It could be an imaginary place, but to vividly detail a moment in which you can ensure a feeling of mental safety. And usually when people do that, it's something that they do by closing their eyes and then seeing details. For example, if you were reviewing a memory of a safe place, you could imagine the setting, you can feel what it's like to sit in the chair in which you're resting, you could envision what the scenery is like, you can vividly imagine the sounds of nature, the sounds of the birds, the sounds of the wind through the trees, and then allow your body to accommodate and to begin to memorize that feeling, that felt sense, you're safe right now. Now that gets us to the fifth step in the process. And the fifth step in the process is action. And action is how do we meet a fear with an action that has adaptive value. And the action that can have adaptive value is to follow the rules that you're getting from health authorities, from the government, about what to do to be safe. What to do to be safe about washing your hands, about wearing a protective mask, about instructing your children, instructing members of your family, having an action plan about how we'll make safety come alive to the greatest extent that we possibly can. Now let me review those steps. These are stylized steps. I'm not suggesting that everyone needs to go through those steps in the way that I've outlined them. And if one of the steps is more important to you, then that's the one to focus on. But the 5 steps are information to understand the situation, to understand that there's a difference between fear and anxiety. The second step is to go into tension, do this tense, relaxed cycle. The third step is to anchor yourself in awareness. It's as if you're moving, if you're in a car, from reverse gear into neutral. And neutral in this case is awareness. The next step, the fourth step, is to anchor safety. Safety is like putting yourself into first gear, doing the things that you can to make yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, at this moment, safe. And then the last step is action. What you do to protect yourself, what you do to teach your friends, your family, to encourage them to do things that are safe. Now, this exercise of these 5 steps is something that you could review mentally, something that you could do effortlessly when you were having a break during your day. And by virtue of practicing the steps, there's things that you could do quickly to put yourself into the best possible state in dealing with these very difficult circumstances. I hope that some of the things that I have been teaching have relevance to you and that they can help you to deal with these terribly difficult times. And in these terribly difficult times, as I said, 我们是中国人. We're all Chinese, and we're all hoping for the very best for you. 谢谢。